she screamed, her arms flailing as the security officer gripped her tightly by the wrist. Her phone fell to the floor, sliding under a row of seats. Passengers gasped, some recording, others whispering in shock. The teenage girl, no older than 16, had done nothing wrong. Yet here she was, being dragged down the narrow aisle like a criminal. Before we continue, if you are watching our video for the first time, please bless and support us by hitting that subscribe button. Turn on your notification bell to get notified for more. Share to friends. Where are you watching from? Please tell us in the comments. We love seeing how far our story goes. And to our loyal viewers, thank you so much for standing by us and helping us hit our first 100 subscribers. You are part of this growth, and we appreciate every single one of you. The plane hadn't even taken off. It was supposed to be a calm evening flight from Dallas to Atlanta. The aircraft sat idle on the tarmac, and already the air inside was thick with confusion and judgment. Flight attendants stood frozen. The captain hadn't stepped out, and in the middle of it all was a young black girl, sobbing, panicking, humiliated. "You can't do this," she cried out, her voice raw. "I have my ticket. I did nothing wrong." A woman in the aisle seat, dressed in a sleek business suit and holding a glass of orange juice, leaned over and muttered, "She must have done something. They don't just remove people." "Ma'am, please calm down," said the officer, his grip tightening. His tone sounded rehearsed, robotic, as if he'd said it 1,000 times before to people who never deserved it. Another woman across the aisle recorded everything. "This is going on TikTok," she whispered. "I knew flying today would be chaotic." The girl tried to explain. "The lady said my carry-on was too big. I told her it fit before. She got angry when I asked to speak with a supervisor. That's all." But her voice was drowned out by judgmental murmurs and the clatter of movement. A second officer appeared, this one larger, more commanding. "We received a report of you being disruptive," he said coldly. She blinked at him. "I wasn't." She yelled first. "I just stood up for myself." Without another word, he grabbed her other arm. Her braids swung around her face as she struggled. In the cockpit, Captain Malone tapped his headset. "Is everything under control back there? We're 10 minutes to taxi." "Minor passenger issue," came the reply from the cabin. "We're resolving it." But it wasn't minor. Not to her. Not to the girl who'd spent the last 3 years moving from shelter to shelter with her mother. Not to the girl who had earned this trip as a scholarship prize for an essay she wrote on overcoming adversity. Not to the girl who had dreams of studying aviation, who idolized black female pilots, and who was finally flying alone for the first time. As the officers dragged her through first class, her voice broke. "Please, let me just call my dad." Her voice hit a certain pitch that silenced even the snarkiest whispers. Her father. She had said it with something more than fear. Something that hinted at power. But in the moment, nobody cared. She was ushered out through the front hatch, her small backpack barely clinging to her shoulder. Then something shifted. Outside the aircraft, the girl twisted her arm free. She crouched, picked up her phone from where it had bounced on the tarmac, and stood tall. With trembling fingers, she unlocked it and dialed. 1 ring. 2. 3. Then a calm voice answered. "Sweetheart, are you okay?" Tears fell as she gasped. "Daddy, they pulled me off the flight. Said I was disruptive. I wasn't. I was polite. I promise. They hurt my wrist." Silence. Then the voice said, "Which airline?" She whispered the name. "Gate number?" She turned, saw it. G17. Terminal C. "Stay put. Do not let anyone take you anywhere. I'm calling tower control and operations now." 5 minutes passed. Then 10. Ground crew in orange vests glanced over. Her posture had changed. She wasn't crying anymore. She stood with her shoulders squared, head high. Suddenly, the flight that had begun its taxi was recalled. Passengers looked around. An announcement came overhead. "Due to unforeseen circumstances, this aircraft will return to the gate for immediate inspection. Please remain seated." A collective groan spread. No explanation. No clarity. Back at G17, the girl watched as 2 black SUVs rolled up beside the terminal. Out stepped 2 individuals in navy suits with sleek earpieces. Behind them, a sharply dressed man in his 50s emerged, flanked by security. "Where is she?" he asked. She waved. He moved quickly. "They hurt you?" he asked. She nodded. He turned to the staff nearby. "Bring me the station manager. Now!" In the terminal, tension grew. The gate staff exchanged nervous glances. The woman who had accused the girl earlier of being disruptive stood frozen at the corner, watching. 10 minutes later, passengers were asked to disembark. On the tarmac, the man made a call. Activate Protocol 7. Ground every crew member on that flight until I speak to them. Someone nearby blinked. Sir, with respect, who are you? He turned, pulled out his badge. I'm Harrison M. Green, chairman and majority owner of this airline. That's my daughter you assaulted. Inside the terminal, whispers turned into stares. Cell phones recorded again. The security officers were removed. The flight attendant who had started it all began crying, begging not to be fired. The teenage girl watched, arms folded, not smiling. Not triumphant. Just tired. Her father walked beside her into the operations office. Lawyers arrived. Statements were taken. Meanwhile, social media exploded. Hashtag Flying While Black trended. The footage showed her crying. Another video showed her quietly sitting. Another, the staff member yelling. Nothing showed her being disruptive. By the time the sun set, national news had picked up the story. The airline issued a public apology. But it was too late. 2 crew members were suspended indefinitely. The gate supervisor resigned. And the young girl? She didn't gloat. She released a simple statement through her father's PR team. I did nothing wrong. All I wanted was to fly to Atlanta to speak at a youth leadership conference. I hope what happened to me never happens to anyone else. Every person deserves dignity, no matter their age or skin color. Weeks later, the incident was part of airline training videos. Her speech at the conference drew thousands. And her words stuck. Justice isn't about power. It's about doing the right thing, even when no one's watching. Moral lesson. This story reminds us that prejudice and power misuse can impact even the most innocent among us. It teaches us to pause, reflect, and treat everyone, regardless of appearance or background, with fairness and respect. Integrity is standing firm, even in silence. And silence is never an excuse to ignore injustice. This story was brought to you by Elliot Stories. See you on the next one. Peace.